Good morning, PlayStation Nation. We're back with news from the community. Final Fantasy VIII is the second of 3 Final Fantasy games developed for the PlayStation 1. As speedruns, Final Fantasies VII and IX require a significant amount of planning to be able to get through battles while extremely underleveled. On the other hand, almost every battle in Final Fantasy VIII can be completed in just a couple of turns. Between the enemy level scaling, the stat junctioning system, and easy access to limit breaks, even casual players of the game can find ways to become extremely powerful relative to upcoming battles. Much of the routing of this game involves finding the fastest ways to abuse these mechanics to keep every battle extremely short. For runners like CO, this means that execution comes down to split-second decision-making, assessing the state of random encounters as they begin, to find the best set of actions to get out of the situation while minimizing the number of extra enemy attacks. Execution comes down to knowing the precise movements to quickly pass through every room in the game. Execution comes down to memorizing complex menuing, including a single 2-minute-long menuing section late in the game. CO has spent months mastering all of this. He first ran the game more than 2 years ago, but has been routinely running this category since April of this year. When starting this grind, he had his eye on one thing: the sub 820 milestone. 8 hours and 20 minutes is an extremely difficult time to reach in this game, with only one other person having achieved it in this category. In addition to solid execution, this run also requires a lot of luck. Some of the randomness in this game can be manipulated. If you keep track of the number of steps your character has taken, you can predict most of the random encounters you'll face. By noting how these enemies attack, you can perform certain actions to force a desired item drop after the battle. However, a lot of randomness remains unpredictable. Random encounters on the world map are not related to step count and cannot be manipulated. You can escape from most encounters in this route, but if an enemy gets an attack in before you do, that can be a substantial amount of time loss. 10 seconds lost in a run more than 8 hours long may not look like much, but looks can be deceiving. When analyzing a speedrun, it can help to think of the run as 2 pieces: static time and active gameplay. Static time is all the time that should be the same between runs. This can include cutscenes, dialogue, auto-scrollers, animations, and biggest of all, loads. Everything else is active gameplay. Active gameplay is where all the time save happens. RPGs like this may have very long speedruns, but they can still have relatively little active gameplay. More than half of the runs currently on the board are within a 25-minute window, and CO estimates that the world record with the current route could only realistically be improved by a few minutes more. From that perspective, when you consider how little active gameplay there is to work with, 10 seconds randomly saved or lost several times throughout the run suddenly adds up to quite a lot. This also only covers the potential time losses that CO needs to deal with. There are also several places where the run can simply be lost due to poor luck. By keeping characters at low health through most of the game, CO is able to perform very powerful limit break attacks. This is one of the features of the game that allows you to finish most battles in a couple of turns. However, the downside to this technique is that your characters are at low health through most of the game. There are places where an unlucky attack from a boss can spell doom for the run several hours in. This aspect of randomness could put off some people, But for others, the randomness is part of the excitement. Just as CEO has put hundreds of hours into practicing this game, the community has put thousands of hours into routing, planning, creating resources, learning, and helping each other however they can. CEO has spent the last 8 months perfecting his skills in this game, steadily improving, working to memorize the entire run and minimize the need to spend time referring to notes. But the element of randomness makes it all the more exciting when he finds himself coming into Disc 4 and seeing the pace he's on. The knowledge that execution has been on point, and that bad luck hasn't stopped the run yet. The memory of all the runs that were ended by the same fates that have allowed this one to continue. The knowledge that only a few small things remain between him and the goal he's been reaching for all this time. The joy of sharing a run so unlikely with a community that has supported him through this journey.
This is the goal that I set myself when I started taking this game really seriously. It's just taken so much out of me. Lost a lot of weekends for this. World record will be soon.
CEO achieved his initial goal of sub 820, but he is far from done. He knows that he is fully capable of beating the world record, and he intends to do just that. Beyond Final Fantasy VIII, he's also interested in returning to Final Fantasy IX, the game that originally got him into speedrunning. In the meantime, be sure to follow him on Twitch and YouTube, both linked below, and you too can cheer him on during the next steps of his journey. Subscribe for more PlayStation speedrunning news, and as always, show some support for the PlayStation Nation.